What's up, guys? Welcome to back to welcome to one of these university videos. In this one, we've moved on from what we did last time, which was the entity ownership model, and we're doing something a little bit easier because last time we started with the ERM for the year because that's probably one of the most complex things you can do. So it makes sense to get that out of the way first thing rather than sort of. We could have built it up, but I think it was better to do it the way we did it. So. Then we'll move on to relational data analysis, also called normalisation. Probably normalisation is an example of an RDA, but there you go. It's all about handling file structures, and for what we did at the year, it's handling database work. So it's like getting all the tables set up correctly and having the most efficient form of handling your data. So you've got 4 steps. You've got your first step, which is a normalised form, which is just getting all your data from this. You normally get this with you, or if you're not, then you should probably make one. You got to think about what the client wants, what the output is going to be of the system. Just sort of make a mock one, which is what I did for Portfolio 4, which I will get to in a while in a different video. But a normalised form, you list it as you do here, but you've got to think about what data repeats and what data doesn't repeat. Like here, your student code and all your student name, they can have more than one. There can be a more than one course, so that data repeats. So the level of that is 2. But course code and course title, you can't have more than one of those, otherwise the university is gonna freak out and cause a lot of confusion. So it makes sense that it'd be the first UNF level. And that's how you do that. That makes first normal form really easy because you've got to separate repeating data, but you've also got to pull out a compound key, which will be student code here. And you just sort of put all the repeating data underneath that and leave the course code and the course title on its own because they're already sorted out. And then you move into second normal form, which is the most difficult one of the 3 I find. It's it's based on dependency, like here. Like if a part of a key, if an attribute is not dependent on one of the 2 keys, then you've got to make a new one. But this one's already done. Your first primary key is pretty much done all the way across. You just need to not ignore it, but just sort of leave it, kind of thing. But here you're thinking about your compound key, like, is student name dependent on student code? Yes. Is it dependent on course code? Not really, because student name isn't really defined by the course code, so that's not dependent. So you move it down into a new one and you bring the student code with it, because that's what it's dependent on. And the date of birth as well, that's got nothing related to the course also. And that's how you get that. And then you move on to third normal form, which is just wrapping up in loose ends and making it look a bit more efficient and neater. And that's where you pull out any attribute that looks like it could be on its own, rather than as part of another table. You pull that out, like here. You've got tutor code. That's pretty obvious that it can work on its own, otherwise it wouldn't have a code. So you mark it with an asterisk, and then you pull down everything to do with a tutor that you think makes sense, and you put it in its own table there. But the asterisk just shows the link between the 2, and it makes it make a bit more sense. And grade, that's a funny one. You could have left it like that, but it makes sense because result is dependent on grade. Like if you get an A, you get a distinction, and so on and so forth. So you might have grade with an asterisk and you put it down there. And that's about it for normalisation. It's the easier of the 2 design things we've done, and I feel a lot more confident in normalisation than ERM. So that's about that. It's been a quick 5 minutes. So hope you like this video. If you're into it, remember to comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.